That is a lot of octopus.
Traveled. Basically, it was living there in the same town that she moved away from, and definitely didn't want to be around her ex-husband. And the guilt she felt about putting her son.
Okay. Now I got the I think I got the YouTube thing rolling here.
It was a court order, but still, you know, like what happened?
Now I gotta get on the other fucking phone and find out.
2013, devoured dogs were found in the woods, partial remains of little 13-year-old Dylan. Because at this time, his skull wasn't found, it was just his partial remains. But then 2 more years later, in 2015, is when his skull was found. And guess what? Blunt force trauma. It had obviously been struck with something very
Alright, everything's working.
and it was only found a mile and a half away
I gotta
from
plug
where
this
I don't
stupid
understand
phone
how
in.
it takes 2 years to find something a mile and a half away.
Hey, people's joining on YouTube already.
But nevertheless, they found this
Or
skull
something.
and the rest of his remains. Now, Mark would go on to say,
Bro, I've got the computer open, I've got the other phone open to go to YouTube, and I've got the other phone open to monitor YouTube.
that just a couple days before his remains were found the first time, his partial remains, they saw Mark driving an ATV down that trail. And then again, you guys remember what his ex-wife said? Okay. Now, when they examined Mark's house, they did find the blood of Dylan in different areas of the house, including on his clothes, on his dad's clothes that he was wearing the day that he went missing. Now, Mark
I've got way too many things going on over here.
something like that, and he was bleeding when he got off the plane. But they went back to the airport and found that.
In a way, yes.
Saw that they didn't see anything like that. So it was just
Well, I mean, I've got the TV going, obviously, and then I've got the computer logged in with the Twitch to monitor Twitch, and then I've got the other phone logged in to live stream from Twitch to YouTube, because apparently I just don't have the right software on my computer to, you know, do that shit. And then I've got the other phone pulled up so I can monitor YouTube. It's a clusterfuck. Might be a clusterfuck, but it works.
Now this is the part that I want to tell you. You guys want to know my opinion. Obviously devastating, but this really makes my stomach turn because I know people who have children with other people who every single time they send their child with that person,
oh, this is an instant lobby
they
death.
are praying that their baby comes back safe and in one piece. I cannot imagine that type of torture. I cannot. But in this case, it really happened.
No, usually when I get on, I'll go on the firing range just to get my fingers and shit woke up.
You never know. I mean, people change.
Yeetus deletus.
But, I mean, she was...
Yeetus deletus. Oh, shit.
So, he just... And then he had to have shown something
I'm down.
over the years. I mean, because he was obviously...
Really, I grabbed the alternator and there's a 301 right there.
Whatever you do. But if you want to know, if y'all want to get down and talking about...
How many subscriptions do you pay for? Truebill found subscriptions I didn't even know I had. And they make canceling the ones I don't use.
See, it is too early in the morning for this shit.
I want to let you guys know that this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please remember to be kind. Time is just not on our side. So this is y'all's friendly reminder to drink your water and call that special family member that you always forget to call. You know that aunt or your mother? Joshua Phillips, who from everything that I could find was an only child, was born in Pennsylvania to his mother and father, Missy and Steve Phillips. It is said that Joshua, who went by Josh, had a rough childhood. His dad had a bunch of issues. He had a really bad temper and was not very emotional with him, did not spend a lot of time with him, and he was more closer to his mother. Josh was described as a friendly kid, kind of quiet. He was funny when he would talk to you, and just kind of did his own thing. He happened to
I think I'm fixing to go in a box.
terrified of his father and never wanted to make his father mad because of his father's wrath. Now, eventually, Joshua and his
I'm going in a box.
parents would move to neighborhood that actually had a lot of children in it. Everybody in this Jacksonville neighborhood was pretty close.
I don't know, Rabbit makes some weird noises.
Play, and it was just a really good area. Like they would play kickball, they would play basketball, they would hit golf balls, and it was just a really fun neighborhood for a bunch of children. Across the street from Joshua lived a couple who had two little girls named Jessie and Maddie. Around this time, which was about 1998, Jessie was 11 years old, Maddie was 8 years old, and Joshua was 14 years old. He was the oldest of the three. Again, there was a lot of kids.
Oh God, I remember that. I hated that. I don't know what happened.
When they could. Now, it was later said that Joshua's dad did not like him playing with the two little girls across the street, and we'll get to more of that of why later. But Josh originally said that his dad just did not like little girls. Now, Maddie, the 8-year-old little girl that we're speaking of, grew up in a very...
Like, at first the batteries died, and I put new batteries in it, and then I just, like, it would not get the microphone pulled back
all
up.
of her life. She had her older sister named Jessie, and Jessie and Maddie were best friends. They got along great. They did everything together when they could. Maddie was very much involved in everything. She played piano, she played hockey, she played basketball, she played kickball, she played baseball. She did it all. She was a very lively little kid, very outgoing, and just would go up to anybody and play with anybody. Now, on this particular day, which happened to be November 3rd of 1998, it was election day there in Jacksonville, and Maddie got out of school.
I don't even know what happened to my YouTube chat, but it just went like nuts.
Practiced her piano every single day while her mother went to go vote.
Are you seeing my YouTube chat?
4:30, and Maddie was ready to go. She was standing at the door.
I don't even know what's going on in my YouTube chat. It just like went nuts.
Before dinner, her mom said, "Okay, I'll see you later." At around 6:20, when it was dinner time,
I hear a wrecking ball and I don't like it.
Maddie to come home. She always came home for dinner. Maddie, her big sister Jessie, and her mother and father always ate dinner at the table every single night together. It was just their thing. She had to be home for dinner.
Man, I hate the Evo sometimes. Oh wait, I'm not even. Oh, I'm not even on my own YouTube. What the hell?
She rode her bike around. She called her sister's name. She knocked on doors.
Somehow it flipped over to somebody else's YouTube chat.
Before you know it, Sheila called the cops and got them involved. They came out. They started searching the neighborhood. All of the neighbors began searching. Now, Maddie's parents, of course.
Hey, Mom. Alright. Love you. No. Hey, done?
What?
It's done. Can you go ahead and get it? Please.
Hang on a second. I'll be back in like 5 minutes.
I'm not going over there, Bradley. No, dummy. I'm gonna... Where's Mom?
Here, put it in the firing range or something so I don't get DC'd.
You lied. She's in the kitchen. Anyways, love you, bye. I guess he's in bed. I don't know. Duh. Yes, I know. I called Mama earlier. Love you. I was getting on my damn nerves. It's too damn cold. It's mad. I don't know what's going on.
much calm down. Now, Maddie's parents, of course, could not calm down. Hello, I wouldn't be able to either. And they were so upset. They knew that their little girl would not just go off and disappear. Something happened to her. As the investigators continued to look around, this is when they stumbled across their first suspect. There was a guy that lived in the neighborhood named Larry. Now, Larry always played with the children, and typically the neighbors didn't think anything of it until they found out that he was a S offender. Now, he was not an S offender to children, but he was allegedly nonetheless, and so the investigators brought him in. They asked him to take a lie detector test, and they asked him questions pertaining to the disappearance of Maddie, and he failed the lie detector test. So, boom, got your guy, right? The problem was he had a strong alibi, like a solid alibi that he was with this person and these people, and he could not have taken Maddie or did anything with her. Remember that I said that, okay, about the whole lie detector thing. Moving on. So then the cops were stumped. They could not arrest him because he had a rock-solid alibi. Even though he failed, cops were stumped. They could not arrest him because he had a rock-solid alibi, even though he failed the lie detector test. So they continued to search. The family was doing flyers. There was a $100,000 reward for information that would bring their baby girl home, 8-year-old Maddie. I mean, the whole community was in it. There was thousands of people. There was so many people. They loved Maddie. People. There were so many people. They loved Maddie. The community loved Maddie. People at the school got involved. Nobody could understand how this little girl could leave her house at 4:30 after school one day, go to play, and then by 6:20, nobody had seen her. She literally just vanished or disappeared. However, everything with the disappearance of Maddie would change on November 10th, just 7 days later after she was deemed missing. The little boy that lived across the street, 14-year-old Joshua's mother, went into his room to clean it while he was at school. She noticed a super foul smell that was coming from the room. Oh, you guys. She could not get rid of the smell. She was going in, she was picking up socks and dirty underwear. She noticed that he had an air freshener and like incense all over the place. And in her mind, she's like, this nasty little 14-year-old, where he's got some dirty drawers somewhere around here that is stinking up the whole room. I mean, is there a rat dead in here? What is it? She continued to clean, looking for something that was causing this foul smell that obviously could not be covered up with air freshener, candles, or incense. And as she crawled onto the floor to pick up stuff, she noticed a liquid coming out from his bed. See, 14-year-old Joshua had a water bed. Y'all remember water beds back then? She thought then, oh my gosh, the water bed's leaking. And if you guys don't know, or if you didn't have a water bed back in the day, there were these big, like, mattresses that was like a really thick plastic, and inside of it was water, so it would move. But they were in these big wooden bed frames that would hold the water mattress or the water bed part, and they would have these big wooden bed frames that would hold it, you know, up off the ground, than where you would have the wooden mattress holder and then the water bed. She noticed that the water was coming out from there, and she thought, oh my gosh, his water bed is leaking. It's probably wetting the carpet and causing mildew and causing this wood to rot. That's the smell. So when she went to go look further, she noticed that the wooden part of the water bed was duct taped. It had tape around it, like somebody had purposely taped it together. She pulled the tape off to pull the wood back to see what was under there, where the leak was, and this is when she saw a human foot. She freaked out. She ran out of the house, ran down the neighborhood, and started looking for a cop. Now, there were plenty of police in that neighborhood because they had been looking for little Maddie. And also, the investigators thought at this point that whoever took little Maddie obviously had a hit against Maddie's parents and was probably going to come back and get Jessie, the sister, as well. So they had security. They actually had cops that were in the house that would come in and eat dinner with them, would play board games with Jessie. I mean, it was a really tight-knit community, and they felt like they needed to protect the family because somebody was after them. So there was already cops there. So when Joshua's mom ran out, flagged down the cop, she called the cop into the house, into her son's bedroom, and she could not even tell him what she saw. She just pointed. And when the cop opened up that piece of wood and he saw the foot, that is when he called for backup. The cop called for backup, and it just so happened that he had other officers who were in Maddie's house, and one of them was sitting on the floor playing a board game at that moment with little Jessie when he got the call, and he had to abruptly leave the game and go across the street to Joshua's house. As the investigators in the coroner's office came and they pulled little Maddie's body out from underneath Joshua's bed, this is when they saw that she had been strangled. She had marks around her neck. He told them, nope, my dad's not home, I'll get in trouble, I gotta do chores, I'm not allowed to play. He says that Maddie pressed the issue. Please, 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 please come play, like typical kid stuff, if that's even true. And that he caved, and he said, okay. He said that he went outside and began to hit like softballs and baseballs with her. He said that he hit one, and it hit her in the eye, and she began to scream, cry, and bleed. He said that he freaked out. Took her in the house to help her. She would not stop screaming and crying and bleeding, and so he hit her over the head with something a couple times to get her to stop. He said then she began to whimper, and he took her up to his room, and around this time he said his dad came home, and he said he was terrified. He said he shoved her under the bed, told her to be quiet, whatever, and when his dad got home he ran downstairs, hey dad, I'm just up here doing homework, whatever he told him, greeted his father, and then he went back up and he said he heard little Maddie under the bed whimpering again. So this is when he said he took another weapon and stabbed her multiple state on that probably happened was that she was lured into the house, hit there, strangled with a phone cord, and then that's never the story that Joshua told. He's always stuck with the same story. Let's keep rolling here, and then I'm going to tell you guys my opinion because it keeps trying to seep out. He ended up going to trial the next year in 1999, and he was found guilty. I mean, the jury deliberated for 2 hours, and they found him guilty. He, being 15 years old at this point, was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He could not get the death sentence because he was under the age of 18. But at this time, it was legal to give children life without the possibility of parole. When he was interviewed and asked why he did this, he said he didn't know, and he didn't really know why he did it. Maybe he needed counseling to find out what was wrong with him. I believe he knew exactly why he did it. Now, it was later said that Joshua was obsessed with Maddie's big sister, Jessie. I even seen things that said that, he had a picture of her that he been with Maddie and after.
You've been roll call pandemic, and then your friend goes, oh, you didn't know you could claim $750 cash app?
No, I did not know. If I had Jessie. Now, we see this happening over and over again. I wish that even as a community, we would take these things so much more seriously, because exposing children to things like this at a young age changes them. Or we see a lot of cases where a place that your children will never see it, or never find it, or never come up hearing in 2017, and when it was cruel and unusual. So because of this, he was able to get another trial hearing in 2017, and when he had this trial hearing, this is when he apologized for the first time to the family. And it was a long, heartfelt apology from him,
survive. I don't pretend to know or understand your pain. Many times throughout this journey, I came definitely close to ending my life. Shame. Each time, I was somehow able to continue on. None of this would have come about. I had no clue what life meant, what death meant. I think I'm off the record on here.
He's done many interviews over the years, and he said that he didn't want to apologize to them via letter. He always wanted to do it face to face so they could see how sincere he was. Anyways, and his mother has fought for him this whole time. His mother has gone to see him almost every single week for all of these years, and she has fought over and over and over again to get him released. Before I tell you guys about what happened at this next hearing, I think I should tell you guys what happened to Maddie's family. I mean, obviously they were broken. Maddie's mother and father, Sheila and Steve, they were married for 25 years, and they finally divorced because of the toll that this took on them. And you hear stories like this, you know, all the time. Like, it breaks you down. I mean, I think we all, us that really, you know, pay attention to true crime and deep dive into this stuff, you know, you can't help but to wonder, like, what that does. You know, you blame yourself. You know, did the mother think, I just shouldn't have let her go out instead? You know, I should have told her to clean her room instead. She needed to clean her room anyways. Or, you know, the dad, and I'm just coming up with ideas here. You know, the dad's like, I told you not to let her go out without her sister. You know, you just, those things will just...
Why do you always have to bring it in here?
So this is where you were at.
Bro?
She said the sausage might be frost burnt.
Huh?
She said the sausage might be frost burnt.
The sausage might be what?
Frost fucking bit, baby.
Oh. Well, you didn't, was it being specific?
How more specific does frost burnt?
Well, I couldn't hardly hear you. What?
I'm going to smother you before the day is over.
You want one?
No, I'm going to eat here. I'm going to eat something here after a while. I'm not able to eat yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm back. Fuck yeah. Hey Duck, is that your primary Twitch account, or is that I'm gonna play a crackhead. Why not? But yeah, is that your primary Twitch account, or is that or what is that? Well, throw your primary one in there. Yeah, I think on YouTube, not on Twitch.
Are you working today? I hope you be careful.
Rose, go away. I don't have anything for you. Bad ideas. Bad ideas. How do you what? Yeah, I still haven't figured that one out.
Really have to?
Well, I mean, if anybody needs shotgun ammo,
Get my
there's like a ton of it. Really? For real. I got a Peacekeeper and a Mastiff, so yeah.
Just wear you down, and especially with knowing that she was across the street.
I am not picking up P2020. That is not happening.
They didn't know, and the wondering of what actually happened.
Her passive picks up like LMGs like Rampage and shit like that. You get a little bit of extra ammo inside the clip.
And now this terrible son. But it's just crazy to think about, like, not only was Maddie so super innocent, but her sister is still affected by this. So in 2017,
I don't know, I'm trying to find something other than fucking shotguns.
Re-sentence or get out or blah. They had to pretty much go through most of the stuff again. That's when he got on the stage
I'll take that.
and let everybody know all the things he's been doing.
Oh, I gotta put my skin on it.
He finished school in there. He's became a paralegal. He's helping. He allegedly has not been in really.
Not with Octane.
This 20+ years that he's been in prison, and the family sat up there and listened to all of that. And the mother of Maddie said,
At least I'm not a typical Octane loot goblin.
Mother, because she is innocent in this. She's thinking, like, I didn't get to see my daughter.
I hadn't even seen it.
And,
Bro, I told you, it's too early in the morning for this shit.
She'll never have any nieces and nephews from her sister. She's thinking, like, I didn't get to see my daughter do any of these things. And, Jessie didn't get to see her sister. She'll never have any nieces and nephews from her sister. And she lost her best friend. And, Jessie got up there and said that she
You like it? Hey, shut the damn door. Alright, where's the light ammo? Like,
because of all
I got 40.
Maddie's family said they were super nervous because Joshua looked really good up there. They thought he was going to get out. However, the judge resentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole, and they were so relieved and so.
Whoever hit this thing out pretty good.
Maddie's mom say, I'm really
Oh,
happy
dear
for him
Lord.
that he's getting to do all these things
Hey,
or whatever.
guess what I found?
But at least now I can see.
Hey, you want the alternator skin?
She is convinced, Maddie's mother, that if Joshua got out, he would be coming for Jessie.
Rampage, Peacekeeper.
It was never about Maddie. That
What are you shooting at?
was able to lure in the house and get. However, on the flip side, Joshua's mother says she'll never stop fighting, and he has another court hearing for another resentencing next year in 2023, where he's going to try to be released again.
Well, her portal only goes out 50 meters, so she can't be that far away.
When I listened to his apology, at first I felt a little bad. Like, okay, he was 14, he did something horrible, he's changed his life and all of that. But then when I listened to the family again, I saw it in a different way. And also the fact that he's never actually really told the truth about what happened. I mean, what he said happened did not line up with anything else. And I think it's obvious probably what happened, in my personal opinion. And he doesn't want to admit that part because it seems even worse. I think he got obsessed with things of a nature and he wanted to act it out. And he couldn't get to Jessie. And so he...
Wait. I want to have fun.
Took her to the house and he wanted to do these things and she probably screamed, freaked out, maybe hit him, bit him, whatever. And he hit her over the head and then he strangled her. It was said that she was strangled with a phone.
I got you, little buddy.
Well, if I'm getting Paris Bennett vibes from him. You guys remember Paris Bennett?
Do they got anything I want? Yes, they do.
You guys should really go and watch that.
I want that.
It's really sad that they were married for 25 years and then eventually just they couldn't.
A gold peacekeeper.
Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. As always, my loves, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please do not forget to like it.
Yes.
Here's how to
Middle
cancel
box.
a subscription with Truebill. Go to the return tab.
Yes.
And here, you can
Hey,
see
hey,
all
hey,
your
hey, hey.
upcoming charges. Tap on the subscription you want to cancel. Then tap Options in the top right corner.
There's a fuse again.
This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere. In your
Mega Square.
In your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not share
Yeah.
with anybody, anywhere. Good morning, my lovelies. And the big point, Chandler said he had been working for SpaceX around 7 months. Okay, he's getting ready to go down there, but he's not getting a paycheck, and he's still getting money from his parents. So
Missiles and machine guns.
He's been with at least since 2019. Now, this girlfriend that he was dating, she's not somebody that he just met. They were having.
All right, brother, take it easy.
She was planning on quitting her
Later.
career to move with her man, Taylor, to Florida while he goes to Florida and works for Elon Musk's company, SpaceX. So on July 1st, at around 7:30 a.m., Chandler's mom gets up like she typically does, and she left to go to work. At 7:51 a.m. on July 1st, Chandler sent his girlfriend Kat a text message and said his life was falling apart. She did not understand really what that meant. She thought it was because Chandler had recently fell down some stairs. This is a photo right here with him and his dad and his brother in a neck brace. Okay? He had fell down some stairs. He ended up having to go to the hospital. He said he had like a brain bleed and he had a neck injury and he was in his neck brace. And she was thinking that it had to do with his injury while he was saying this. And then at 1:04 p.m., Chandler texted his girlfriend and told her, because they would text back and forth on Snapchat all day long, he texted her and said, hey, I think I overheard my parents. We're going to go to the cabin this weekend, the cabin I was telling you about, because this was 4th of July weekend. 4th of July would be on Sunday of 2021. Then at 2:10, Bart, Chandler's father, texts him and says, I'm ready when you are. And that is when investigators would think that Bart texted his son to let him know, hey, I'm ready when you are to go up to the school and find out what's going on with your transcripts. That is when things would become a blur after that. From there, Chandler told his girlfriend that his parents left. They went to the cabin with some friends. Some friends picked them up. They helped them pack some things. What you got? I don't know.
While you were with Chandler that day, did he say anything about where his parents were?
Up north of their cabin. Chandler also asked her to bring some ice and a Swiffer and some peroxide because he said he cut his foot on the glass. And the next morning, which was July 3rd, Kat got up and left because she had some things that she had to do, and Chandler was going to do chores. For some reason, he did not want her to stay like the whole weekend. He said he had things he had to do, and she had a couple of things she had to do, although she said she would stay with him. She left nonetheless. So he began to do the chores that he had to do around the house. Him and his girlfriend were chatting all day long. They were Snapchatting. However, something strange happened on this day. See, Chandler had his location turned on to his Snapchat, so his girlfriend could see basically where he was at all times. She noticed that while he said he was doing his chores, he was actually in this area where there was a river at, and she knew this river quite well because he had taken her there swimming before. He would go there swimming, and she was trying to figure out, like, why are you there? She texted him and asked him what he was doing over in that area, and he said that he went to go buy some CBD for his neck pain. It made complete and total sense to her. She said, I'm so sorry you're hurting. I would have stayed and helped you with your chores. He said it was okay. Then Kat came back over to the house later on that night, and they ended up sleeping in Chandler's bedroom and in his bed instead of downstairs like they did the night before. Now, the next day they get up. It is July 4th. It is on a Sunday. They get up and they have plans to spend pretty much the whole entire day with Kat's family at the family farm. So they get up and they drive out to the farm. Now, this farm where Kat's mom and Kat's partner lives is described as like this beautiful, like, oasis. It is 40-something acres of greenery. They have a house, they have a barn, they have a swimming pool there. It's just very peaceful. It's very isolated and remote. It's surrounded by lots of wooded area. It is the perfect place to spend the 4th of July with your family. So they go there, they eat, they hang out, they do some stuff, they do family stuff, they get in the pool and swim. Kat's family, her mother and her mother's partner, would say that he was acting strange. Chandler was acting strange and say they just thought he was tired. He was having problems from his neck injury. And so when he got into the pool, they noticed that he was just kind of staring off into space, not really being, they said he was always a quiet guy, but he just seemed different on this day. Later that day, Chandler and his girlfriend Kat would go over to his mother's friend's house for work, and they did fireworks there. And right around this time is when Chandler told Kat that he got a text message from his mother saying that they made it to the cabin and they were safe and everything was all good. Now on July 4th, when Chandler was with Kat's family, they actually told him that he could come back and use the pool anytime he wanted because of his neck injury. Remember I told you guys before he fell down the stairs. So they said you can come back and use the pool any old time you want. You know, it'd be a good exercise for you. It's not very hard on your joints, like maybe going and stretching would be. Just come here and relax in the pool. They didn't really know if he would come back and use it, but they were offering it nonetheless. And so the next day, on July 5th, when people started going back to work, Chandler had a doctor's appointment. So after Chandler leaves his doctor's appointment, he goes back home, does some more chores, and then he tells his girlfriend that he wants to go out to her mother's property and use the swimming pool. So at around 4:30 p.m. on July 5th, Chandler shows up at the property. First time he had ever showed up there like that without his girlfriend before. Went up, knocked on the door, asked Kat's mom and her partner if he could use the pool for his neck, and they said, sure, of course. This is when things got really weird for them. Kat's mom and her partner said that when they looked outside, they noticed that he was not in the pool. They looked for him, they looked far out, they every single day, multiple times a day. She would even text Kat. I mean, Kat and Chandler's mom, Krista, had plans to like do a girls trip together. They talked about recipes, they talked about life plans, and she just wasn't responding to anybody. Chandler kept trying to brush it off like, well, there's probably no signal up there, they're probably on a boat somewhere, whatever. But when the 7th of July rolled around and still nobody had heard from either one of the Haldersons, Kat started to push Chandler to go and do a missing persons report. So Kat started to push Chandler to go and do a missing persons report. So on July 7th, Chandler went and reported his disappearance. And this is when the investigators got involved. Now at first, when they interviewed Chandler, they immediately wrote him off like, okay, well there's nothing suspicious with this kid. I mean, he's got his whole life going on, right? Like he's about to graduate college. He's got a great career going on, a girlfriend. He had a great relationship with his parents. Here's his text message here from his mom.
Please have sniper optics in it.
Up there, The cops got a hold of the investigators that were up there in the part of Wisconsin where the cabin was, and they went there and they kicked in the doors, and they found nothing. As a matter of fact, they realized that the grass had been grown up, there was cobwebs all over everything. Nobody had been there that weekend, and nobody had been there in a long time. And this is when the police department, where Chandler lived, really started thinking something fishy was going on.
Did you literally see them pulling out of the driveway heading out?
No. Their son, Chandler Halderson, who asked to be off camera, says whoever his parents were traveling with from this neighborhood were to do the driving. He says he received a text from his mother.
She got back again Sunday. Said they made it safely.
The missing couple's son says law enforcement in Langley County has checked on the
That was
family
easy.
cabin there, and he says that visit only adds to the mystery.
The sheriff said it looked like there wasn't anyone home.
Of course, the investigators wanted to question the people that were closest to the Haldersons. Like, well, where was she? She was with me all weekend. I spent the night with them both nights, and we were at my parents, and we did fireworks, and we went out to eat, and we FaceTimed, and here's a picture of us FaceTiming, and So then the cops decided, okay, well, the next place to go is out there to where the property is and talk to Kat's mom. where the turkey vultures were. When the cops went out there this time,
Sniper optics, where you at?
this is where they found a human torso. Now, I'm not going to obviously add pictures on here on YouTube. You can find the photos online if you dare to. The head was cut off, the legs were cut off, the jeans were belonged to. There was no head, there was no fingerprints, there's no way. But it was insane. They found 230 bone fragments in the ashtray. The cell phone was never going to school. He never had a job. He was sitting in his bedroom while his parents was going to work playing video games all day long, okay? How many videos have we done like this where the kid, it's always a guy too, I'm just saying, is sitting in the room lying to his parents playing video games all day long, and then they flip out and they lose it and they end up killing their doggone parents. This happened more than once, you guys. Anyways, he had been lying to his parents the whole time. Chandler has never admitted anything, although he did just have trial and he was found guilty last week of me filming this. But the story is the best the prosecution could put together. And when I tell you guys, there was overwhelming evidence. There was so much. Now, Chandler would text his mom while she was at work and say, hey, Dad's phone is dead. Text me or call me if you need me, type of thing, saying his phone is dead. And said that, you know, can you stop and get me some soda on the way home? And she's like, sure, baby, love you. Like, you know, like this mother who raised her baby boy, literally her youngest son, living at home with him at 23 years old, in the bedroom, playing video games all day long, lying to everybody. And she's going to stop and get him some sodas on the way home. And he is at home chopping up his daddy right now. Some of their body in the river. He was planting some of their body. His girlfriend was coming over, and he didn't want her to find his parents' chopped up body, so he put it in the freezer. Bigger mess she would make doing that. Definitely not saying any other way was right. Just trying to help his son at this point. Like, he was going after school. Like, why are you not giving my son his transcripts? Or why is SpaceX not paying you? You're doing all this work for them. You're such a good young man. Like, and he killed them. This literally just happened last year. So that is this story. Unflip-flop. So that is this story. It, as far as his parents knew, you know, never been in trouble. You know, he asked his parents' permission for his girlfriend to come over at 23. It's not like he was walking around with a beer in his hand like, I'm going to do what I want.
He's on blood.
He just was completely living a double life. It was their own son. Terrifying. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, my loves, thank you guys so much for watching.
Now you can have an expert do your taxes for you. 100% free. Simple tax returns only. Must file by March 31st.
Hearing him mutter, oh my God, when he saw what I had done.
Never knowing her dad. She didn't feel like she missed too much. Like I said, she lived a very, very privileged life. She grew up with horses all around her and nice vehicles and fancy food and just had it all. Or did she? Her mom was married a total of 7 times. So Charity grew up feeling like her mom just kind of made her second or third place in life. Charity's mom describes it because of her love for Paris. She decided to get clean. She wanted to be this mom that she had never had. She felt it grow inside of her. For some kids, right? Some kids, when it's just, you know, the mom and the child, you know, take time to play with her and do stuff with her, and he picked out her clothes for her. Ella called her big brother Paris his her fashion designer. Like, they were so tight. They never fought. It was the perfect relationship. So what happened? On February 4th,
where the fuck is he at?
Paris, who at this point
he's
is
up
now
there.
13 years old, and precious baby Ella is 4 years old, are at home with a babysitter while their mom, Charity, is at work. She was working at, I believe, Buffalo Wild Wings. It was Super Bowl Sunday, and Charity said she hated football. So when I used to wait tables, I loved that. That's what we did. That Day, Valentine's Day, y'all know. Okay, keep going. So there was probably passed out wings, football, loudness, beer, money, going all over the place, whatever, right? And her kids are at home with the sitter. The next thing you know, while Charity...
Hey. Aw, you woke up? What do you mean been up since 7? You didn't go to work? Oh.
I'm almost out of light ammo too.
Yeah, I know. I'm missing my damn work too. Well, I mean, it is a good thing, but in a way it's not, because it's messing out on my damn money.
Might be some over there.
Rosie and Coco, I don't think Coco likes it outside. I know Rosie was doing the same thing. Rosie's laying down now.
Nothing up here.
Rosie! Rosie! Well, my check's good tomorrow.
Kraber.
Yeah,
Don't go through that door.
Tomorrow.
There's Kraber on the far side.
Sherry, if you need anything from Casey's, just know they closed that door today.
Okay.
Meeting Adam, come in.
I ain't going over there. Even if I want something from Casey's, I ain't going. Oh, Damien has to work today. No. But they close at 4 today. In the evening? Yeah. You know what's really suck? My stupid ass, okay, I got the reward on my, for my, internet, right? They gave me 300. Well, my stupid ass, I thought it meant I have to use that card for that day, because that's what the card said. Hell no! It's for, the expiration date was for 2023, so I spent all of it. Motherfucker. Damn, I could have had money. Well, at least I paid the electric with it.
I have no idea where they're at.
Are you gonna try to see him Sunday? Okay. Alright, fine.
While Charity is at work, the cops show up. They take her into the office and they tell her, Charity, your daughter Ella has been hurt. That is not the words any mother or father wants to hear, ever. She immediately starts rushing and says, okay, take me to her. We have to go to her right now. This is my baby. I have to go. And they say, no, calm down, wait. Ella's dead. She freezes and she's like, dead? Where's Paris? Take me to Paris. Where's Paris? He said, wait. I don't have Paris. She's like, okay, well, take me to him. Like, she's trying to, like, come, like, what's that? What happened? And the police officers told her, Paris
We're in a bad spot.
killed Ella. She said in that moment, everything quit making sense. What do you mean? Paris, my 13-year-old son, killed my 4-year-old daughter. Any mother, we're going to start thinking, like, what? Like, it had to be an accident. What happened? Like, where was the babysitter? What was this? Charity said in those moments, the investigators started to treat her more like a suspect.
I'm out of shield cells.
Actually pretty normal from what I've seen in all of these cases. It's not the feeling that you want to have as a mother when they're telling you this. But when a cop goes to anybody's house or situation and there's a child who's murdered a child, of course they're going to want to know what happened. Was there abuse? Was this planned? Like, this is not a normal thing. So while she's trying to process what the investigators and the cops are telling her, she is also being questioned at the same time. Come to find out, what had happened was 13-year-old Paris, who, by the way, when I told y'all earlier in the video that this kid was smart, he was a genius, at 13 years old, he was tested and had an IQ of 142, okay? That is like genius level for an adult, much less a 13-year-old child.
Motherfucker.
13-year-old Paris stabbed his sister in the bed 17 times.
What?
I caught him.
17 times. And then he called 911. Let me play the 911 call for you guys.
I actually killed somebody.
You think you killed somebody?
No, I know I did. I killed somebody.
Is she breathing right now?
No. And I was hallucinating.
You're hallucinating?
Yes, and I thought my sister was a demon and I killed her.
I want you to start CPR, okay? What I want you to do is take her off the bed.
No, I know for a fact that she can't be good with
Do you want to go ahead and try? Good. And she just started screaming when she saw her baby girl's head, saying, I'm sorry, I wasn't there. I'm sorry I wasn't there to protect you. She dropped to her knees, she was crying, she was losing her mind. After they zipped her up and took Ella's body away, she wanted to see her son. A mother's love, right? Unconditional love. Don't hold that thought. She was not able to see her son until way later that evening. It was almost 24 hours later. She wanted to see her precious baby boy, the loving child that she'd always known. You know, the 13-year-old little boy that was so artistic and so smart and had his friends at the skate park and was such a big help to her. When they took her into the room in the juvenile detention center, he was sitting in a chair way in the corner in the back of the room. They opened the door, buzz, click. He's in an all-orange jumpsuit. Her 13-year-old baby boy. She's trying to make sense of this. Like, something had to have happened. She runs into the room when she sees him. She grabs him. She hugs him. He stands there cold. He does not hug her back. She's thinking, okay, he must be worried. He must be this. He must be that. He's, whatever. She's trying to talk to him, but her son is not being himself. She said his eyes were different. He looks completely different than her son. He acted like he was mad at her. Later on, Charity said as she continued to work with him, not the same night but different times, he just was not the same Paris that she had known before. He had been evaluated by a psychologist or a therapist while he was in there, while he was in the juvenile detention center waiting for all of this. While she's being investigated, of course she's being investigated, that's what they do, they always investigate the family. The therapist told her, I hate to tell you this, Charity, but your son is a narcissist and a psychopath. She's like, a psychopath? What? He said a sociopath and psychopath. Yeah, she's like, what? You're not my son. No way. He showed her. He showed her the paperwork. Now, Charity goes back to see her son in the juvenile detention center, and he's sitting across from her just staring at her. She's like, basically, at this point, she's changed her tone, like, tell me what happened. tell me what you did to your sister. And he's not speaking, and she's like telling him, and he's just looking at her with these dark eyes. And she said, he slammed his hands on the table. This is a 13-year-old boy, right? And he looks at her and he said, shut up. She was taken back. She had never heard her son talk like that, never seen him look like that. She said the color in his eyes all turned black. And he said, you are all so stupid. You have all been so stupid this whole time. None of you knew the real me. None of you knew who I really was this whole time. And he laughed in his mother's face. Oh my God. You guys imagine your baby boy, your child. Some of y'all are mothers and fathers out there. She had seen him be this whole child, this whole time, this 13 years, happy, you know. Of course he did things. Of course he got in trouble. Of course he had attitudes. Of course he had, you know, moments and said little things. He was a normal kid, but nothing that she like. And then he tells her, shut up. Y'all are all so bad. It's scary. It is very, very scary. It's definitely not something you can just walk away from. Thank God in Charity's case, and in this case, he was already incarcerated, even at only 13, when his mask slipped in front of his mom, because it could have been very dangerous. Now, I do want to say, real quick, and I will talk more in the end, that not all sociopaths, not all psychopaths are killers or violent, but in this case, and in a lot of cases, they are. Okay, we'll keep going. At this point, her son is in juvenile detention center, obviously, and he doesn't even want to talk to her. She said for like a long time, she would go up there to visit him every single day at 5:30, and the guards would turn her away and say he didn't want to talk to her. So now you guys got to remember, now this is a mother that has gone from having this perfect little life with this great big brother that she has been 8 years with, spending all this time with, her daughter is, you know, gone, and she's under investigation. She said that she was literally having to go into the defense attorney's office to talk about her son, right? To talk to them about her son. And then she would have to go into the prosecution office to talk about her daughter. She was having to be a mom in the same trial to two different people, you guys. And at the same time, she is being investigated. You know, like, this woman was going through the unwatching hours of BDSM and prawn. You guys know what I'm talking about? But very, very, very violent stuff. And BDSM community, do not come for me. This is not a personal attack on y'all. You know, as long as you're not hurting anybody, go off do your thing, whatever. But in this case, this situation happened, and it does not mean that all people, I guess, that watch that, whatever. You guys know what I mean. Okay, love you guys. Love everybody. Anyway. So, but that he was also watching hours and hours and hours of snuff films. I hope I can say that word on here because I've never even heard of this before. If you guys don't know what that is, you're not alone. I had to ask my husband what it was, and he didn't know what it was, so I had to look it up. Those type of films are actually the prawn films, but that are with murder in them. So he was watching hours of this murderous prawn. They also said that they found personal DNA from the little boy on the baby girl Ella's mattress and on her. So the cops were putting things together that he was watching these videos and needed to fulfill this need in him. This lady, you know, I thought it was a demon. I thought she was a demon. He works the story up, and as they're telling him to do CPR, money coming up here and visiting him, and lawyers' fees and all this, and you need to take all of that money and change your identity and move away. So whenever he gets out one day, he can't find you. She's thinking, this is my son. And my mom's gonna be mad at me. Then he calls 911, works up this story. I was hallucinating. And my mom's gonna be mad at me. He actually called his friend and talked to his friend for 6 minutes before he called 911. Just talking to his friend. Told his friend, hey, I did something. I think my mom's gonna be mad at me. Then he calls 911, works up this story. I was hallucinating. It was all a guys. Educators have been telling her, and the psychologists have been telling her, the therapists and the psychiatrists and all that have been telling her, listen, so one of his psychiatrists told her, you need to quit spending all this money coming up here and visiting him and lawyer's fees and all this, and you need to take all of that money and change your identity and move away. So whenever he gets out one day, he can't find you. She's thinking, this is my son. This is the son that I had promised when I was pregnant that I would never make him feel the way that I felt. Guys, wild, unbelievable. Paris ends up getting sentenced to 40 years in prison. It was the max that they could give him at that age of 13. He is scheduled to be, he is an adult now, because this happened in 2007. He is scheduled to be up for parole in 2027, so in 7 years. Now let's talk about some fun facts. So he did get sentenced. Charity has spent she has dedicated her life. She even made a foundation called the Ella Foundation. Of course, I will leave that link down below. You guys can check it out. She decided that she never wanted her daughter to be forgotten. I have so much, like, what this woman has been through. Has she made every decision the right way? No, probably not. If she is anything like me as a mother, and as most of y'all, I know we got the perfect moms and dads out there. I'm not talking to y'all. Y'all got it all together. But for all of us moms and dads that are trying our best, but knowing that we're not perfect, like, I just, I can't imagine. I just can't imagine all of this that she's gone through. And her baby girl, I mean, of course, she lost her life. There's, I don't want to not talk about her. I just don't know how to talk about her, you guys, to be honest. So when her son, who she does still go and see and talks to, okay, which is, a lot of people disagree with, they think it's crazy, they think, but this is, now if you guys are following me on my Instagram, you guys know I asked y'all if love is conditional or unconditional. A lot of you guys said it is conditional unless it is your child. What would y'all do in this situation? Would you continue? You don't have to give me a whole story unless you want to, but would you still visit your child? Would you still go and see him? Knowing not only that he did this, but that he is a psychopath, he is a manipulator, he's a narcissist, he wears a mask, and you don't know if you're talking to the real person or the person they're pretending to be at the time. That's a question for you guys. Now, remember how I told y'all when he was younger that the psychologists and stuff, they were doing the test on him and they found out, they said he was a sociopath, psychopath, blah, 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 blah. Well, when those started coming out, Paris shut down. He regressed. He has not done any evaluation since he was a kid. He does not want to be evaluated. He was even offered a chance to be put in one of those machines, I can't remember what it's called, where they would scan his brain and actually tell what his brain is, and he refused to do it. And it was so crazy because when I was watching that, now you guys, I've watched the documentary, I'll leave the documentary down below, I've watched interviews, her book, I'll leave the book link down below too, I've listened to her book on tape, like I have gone deep into this. If you guys watch the documentary is so much out. Guys, so much out. So if you've only seen the documentary, you probably don't know most of the stuff I'm telling you guys about. I've had to dig and listen to her and all of this stuff, which I'm not saying I haven't, whatever. But when I saw that they were doing these and they offered him the chance to have his brain scanned, I'm thinking like, man, I want to do that. Like, wouldn't that be cool to like go lay in this thing and like have them scan your brain and tell you like what is wrong, like what trigger, like is where the depression is, where this is, and how much you have of it. Like, I would think that was awesome. But he refused. He does not want them looking at his brain. He has said he's been in there. There's been plenty of interviews. You guys can find them on YouTube. They're very short. I wish that they were longer. He's very calculated and well put together now. Now, there's sometimes that I look at him and I feel empathy for him. And then there's other times that I look at him when I'm watching it and I don't know if it's the mask or not. He told his mother, Mom, because he's never even really cried about the whole like elevator, like, been upset.
This is being a very dull match.
Whatever, but he told his mom at one point, he said, Mom, you know, that drawer that I have in my brain that I go to that is Ella, and I open it, and there should be grief, and there should be sadness, and there should be remorse and regret. When I open that drawer for Ella, it's empty. Like, you guys, I don't know, like me, if I say something that hurts somebody's feelings, and I know it hurts it, I think about it over and over and over and over again and beat myself up for days. Like if I think I said something, you know, if you guys, do any of you guys do that? Like, you're having a conversation and you leave the conversation, you're like, oh my gosh, I hope they didn't speak this in that way, like that. You know, you're thinking about, like, I just, you know, I can't comprehend the mind of a sociopath or a psychopath. It's just, it is fascinating, but it's also scary. And again, like I said, not all, there's sociopaths and psychopaths watching this video right now. Not all of them are violent, not all of them are. My brain doesn't quite understand. It's fascinating to me, but my brain doesn't understand your brain. Your brain doesn't really understand mine, because I'm a very empathetic person. Like, so you tell me your story, and I'm going to be thinking about it for the next month, probably crying and praying and all that stuff. That's, I tingle and think my empaths out there, you know what I mean? So, in one of the interviews with Harris, the interviewer asked him, do you know what love is? Tell me.
Let him get a little closer.
They say that, you know, sociopaths, they can't feel love. If any of my sociopaths out there that are watching this want to comment down below and let me know how that, you know, whatever. But anyways, and he said that and that was so interesting to me, because he asked me what love is. I feel like I can tell you guys. Like, okay, let me, you know, this is how I feel about my child and my husband. To me, love is loving another, like, including somebody else that you can't, like, thinking about that person, putting that person's needs before your own. Not wants, but needs before your own. Love is an action, but love is also a feeling. Love is a butterfly. Love is sweet. You know, the feeling of love comes in so many different forms. You know, when I look at my son while he's sleeping, the tears that well up in my eyes, the warmth that comes all in my heart, that's the feeling of love. I mean, like, that the way I look at my dogs when they're sleeping, like, I love them so much. You know what I mean? Like, just, I could go on and on about love, and the fact that he said he just can't put it into words was interesting.
Get him up.
But then later on in another interview, he says, they asked him how he feels about his sister Ella. He goes, I love her with every fiber
Come on.
of my being. In another words, that he did, it's so fascinating. I don't understand it, but another time,
Patty, come back to us.
and she was just trying to make sense of things, and she goes, Harris, why didn't you, you know, you could have killed an animal, like, you have cats and dogs and animals, why didn't you, you needed to kill something, why didn't you kill the animals? None of it. This woman goes, I would never, I love you. Your
Will.